everyone, I really hope this is in focus because if not I'm going to cry because it's going to be a long video, so you might want to get yourself like a cup of tea or something because it's going to be long. Sorry, I'll try and cut it down as much as I can, but I can't promise anything. Okay, now the last time I uploaded a serious video I got loads of hate. It was actually about a year ago now, and I talked about suicide, depression, self-harm, all that anxiety, all that wrapped into one. But I didn't really talk about me. I mostly just talked about how other people deal with it and stuff like that. So today's video I am going to be focusing just on suicide and self-harm. I'll do different videos on depression and anxiety later because it is Suicide Prevention Week this week, I think. And I feel like suicide and self-harm go well together. So yeah, I'm going to talk about those. I'm really scared to upload this, so if you don't like these kind of subjects, please just click off this now. I feel like I should start off with my story because it might help some of you feel less alone. So first of all, I am going to start off with self-harm because it's like the shortest thing. I started self-harming around 6 years ago. It was not long after my granddad died, so that's how I always remember when it happened. Now, beforehand, I had been really ignorant about it. One of my friends, I found out she hurt herself and I was not very nice, let's just say that. I didn't understand why she did it. I thought it was stupid and attention seeking and pointless, and then I found myself in a bad enough place to want to do it. Now, don't ask me why I first started because I can't remember, my memory is awful. The thing with self-harm is that it's addicting. Like, you get addicted to the pain, and it sounds crazy if you haven't done it. Like, if you've never self-harmed, you won't understand it. Even if you try, you won't. And it's really hard to explain. I saw this quote on Tumblr, which I'm sure you've all heard of, and it says, we're all addicted to something that takes away the pain. And whether that's drugs, smoking, self-harm, they all fit into that category of wanting to take away your emotional pain and replacing it with an addiction. But also, people don't always self-harm to take away the pain. Some people self-harm because they like to see themselves in pain. Like, I was a mixture of both. I did it to make myself feel better and because I hated myself and I wanted to see myself hurt. I thought I deserved to be hurt. And that's kind of why I did it. It was a mixture of both. You know, there's not just one point blank reason why people do it. There's always different things. No one found out for a long time. No one found out until years 10, 11 I think, when two of my friends saw something on my phone and they kind of figured it out and they were acting really nice to me that day. I didn't understand why they were being so nice, but in the end, they were like, yeah, we saw this. And I was like, oh god, no. And of course, they probably didn't understand it. They were like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But they were really nice and they were really supportive, and none of those friends have ever been mean. My family, however, they found out, I can't actually remember when they found out. They were not happy. They didn't understand, and I am not going to blame them because, as I said, most people don't. So I'm not going to blame them for some of the really mean things they said because they've definitely got a lot better as time's gone on. But at first, they were very, very horrible about it. And of course that did not help. So if you're watching this and you have a child or a friend who self-harms, I know that you might not understand it now, but please don't make fun of them, don't call them names, don't say anything mean. Try to understand it, do some googling, do some research before you comment on anything, because just don't. The thing with self-harm is that it makes you feel better while you do it, but then you feel worse afterwards because you have all this shame. You're like, I hate myself, why did I have to do that again? But it's like a cycle that you're continuously stuck in. It's really not a good thing to get into. Even now, I find myself wanting to do it because I'm so used to doing it. Like, I can be the happiest person ever and I'll still feel like doing it because I am so used to it. And the fact that I miss hurting myself is so stupid. That should not be a thing. No one should feel like that. But also, self-harm doesn't have to be deep cuts. It can be scratches, hair pulling, paracetamol overdoses. They can be classed as self-harm. Anything that requires hurting yourself, even if it's pinching your own skin, any pain you are intentionally causing to yourself to hurt yourself is self-harm. No matter how serious it is, it's still self-harm. My back hurts. Good. Moving on to suicide. This is really scary to like talk about. People, a lot of my friends, they know quite a bit about my self-harm because I've been open about it as of recent times, but when it comes to suicide I've not been as open, not half as open, so scary stuff. Now, I have tried to commit suicide more times than I would imagine. Not all of them serious. Like, when I first thought about killing myself, it was literally just taking 30 paracetamols and hoping it would work, which isn't going to happen. And I thought, you know, oh yeah, this is more than you're meant to have. This is going to kill me. It didn't, but I used to have that concept in mind for a long time. Like, just because someone doesn't end up in hospital, it doesn't mean they haven't attempted suicide. It just means, you know, no one's figured it out yet, or it wasn't serious enough for them to be in hospital. But attempting to kill yourself is attempting to kill yourself, no matter how badly it turns out. I have lost count of the amount of times I have tried to kill myself and nothing bad has happened. I've just ended up sleeping for a long time and being ill and physically throwing up what I swallowed and stuff like that. The first time I got put into hospital was in 2013. Long story short, I'm not going to name any names because if I do, I will be attacked by said person. A YouTube person, a friend of mine at the time, kind of made me feel like shit, and basically we had like a DM conversation. He was telling me to kill myself and stuff like that. Again, I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure most of you will know who he is because I did actually out him on Twitter about this. So yeah, but I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to drag him into it again. I ended up in hospital a week before Christmas. Yeah, a week before Christmas. It was horrible. I got pinned down in A&E with a needle stuck in my arm because I hate needles, and I was screaming because I'm that scared of them, and I ended up spending all night in a terrifying hospital bed. My mum was there the whole time. She stayed with me for the first night. There was this really creepy woman on the other side who kept walking around in the middle of the night and like staring at me and talking, and I know there's nothing scary about that, but the whole atmosphere, it was terrifying, okay? I couldn't sleep because I had a needle in my arm and I kept wanting to throw up, and it wasn't very nice. The next night, luckily, I got transferred to a proper ward, so it wasn't that bad. There was a TV and it was full of old people who were very nice, by the way. And I kept having to have my drips changed and they kept wanting to do blood tests. In the end, I discharged myself on Christmas Eve because I didn't want to spend Christmas Day in hospital, and my mum started crying and I felt bad and I wasn't going to have any more blood tests. Like, there was no way I was voluntarily having another needle stuck in my arm. So I was like, no, hell no, not happening. And I discharged myself and left. As I said, most of my friends do know about this purely because I tweeted about it because of the whole YouTube thing. But however, that's the only real time my friends have known about it. There have been times since then when I have tried again, and obviously I failed dramatically every single time. And it's oh my god, I can't talk about this. Ugh. The most recent time I tried was this year. I didn't get put in hospital, luckily. The thing is, when you're in that mind state, you can't see any self-worth that you may have. And the thing is, if any of my friends wanted to kill themselves, I would be straight on that, spending hours and hours and hours convincing them to not hurt themselves or to not do anything bad, because I see the worth in them. But when you're in that state, you don't see your own worth. That's all I'm going to mention about my kind of story with that, because there's not overly too much to talk about. But next I'm going to move on to something. I haven't planned this video, by the way. I haven't scripted it, I'm just talking. I asked on Twitter things that you'd want me to talk about, and someone said, what to do if you find out a friend self-harms. Okay, right, if you see someone in the streets or a friend or something and they have scars on their arm, don't just outright say, what's that on your arm? Because it will make them feel like complete shit. I am at the point where I do show off my scars, but not to show them off. If it's in your past, it's okay to show them off. Like, if they're fresh and you've just done them, I don't think it's right that you walk around being like, hey, look at my arms. But however, if they're old, then there's nothing you can do, you know. At Summer in the City, someone actually came up to me and had a go at me for having my arms on show. And honestly, I didn't know what to say. Like, it was really hot. They were very, very old scars. Like, they were years old scars on my arm. And scars, they stay there for ages. I have got scars from 6 years ago on my arms, and there is nothing I can do to get rid of them. So why should I be judged for something that I did 6 years ago? Okay, I've done it since, but I still wasn't showing new scars or anything like that. And if you see someone, don't mention it, and if you see someone get called out on their self-harm, then help stick up for them, because honestly it is, it's the worst thing ever. You feel stuck, you feel pressured. It's horrible. It's really horrible when someone just outright says it. If you're worried about someone, then talk to them privately, you know, pull them over to the side and be like, hi, are you okay? Although they will feel uncomfortable, you know, you have like almost like a humanity duty to help them. What the hell was that, humanity duty? You know what I mean. It's nice to ask someone if they're okay, but just do it in the right way. Like, make sure no one else is there, just you two, and be polite about it. Don't look at them too much, don't touch them, don't draw too much attention to them. Just try and be as calm and as discreet as you can. And when it comes to suicide, honestly, there's not much you can do to convince someone to not kill themselves apart from don't leave them alone. Personally, if I know someone who wants to hurt themselves, I don't care if I'm tired anymore, because I will spend every waking minute, every minute, till I know they're okay, making sure they're okay, telling them their self-worth, finding out what's wrong, why they want to do it, and you have to repeat yourself a lot. Like, you'll tell them they're beautiful and they'll be like, no, I hate myself, and they're like, no. I'm just going to apologise for the fact that the lighting may have changed, or the, like, position. My dad came in and scared me and played with the camera, so now I've had to try and refocus it and all that lot, and it's harder than it looks, okay? But yeah, the best thing you can do is, if you know someone who wants to hurt themselves or is suicidal, is just be there for them. I can't stress how important it is to be their friend. There are two people who I've known for just over a year now, and they have helped me through everything. Even when I have been in a really bad mood and I've been really bitchy and horrible, and I've tried to push them away, and I've tried everything in my power to be a bad person just to make them leave me, and they haven't. It's crazy. They've never given up on me. So huge shout out to Becky and Sam, links below. I'm calling people out in a video about suicide. This is not right. But yeah, they've literally been there for me no matter what. Like, no matter what I've done or said, they've always been there, and I appreciate that more than they realise. You'll find most people who want to kill themselves, not everyone obviously, but most people will be quite lonely and down. So having someone there who, no matter what you do, will always be there, it's an amazing thing, okay? Personally, I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to having someone there who would not give up on me no matter what I did. I was used to people leaving. So it meant a lot to me that people didn't, and it helped me through some of the hardest nights of my life. So yeah, just be a good friend. Don't give up on the person, because they need you more than they may give off. A lot of the time when people are suicidal or down, they will refuse help. They'll lie and say they're okay or that they don't need you, when the truth is they probably need you way more than you think. So just don't give up on someone. If they say, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, you know, make sure it's not just them pushing you away to isolate themselves more, because that's what I did. I would push away everyone, start arguments over the pointless of things just to make myself feel more lonely, so I could like try and hurt myself more. It's stupid, I know, but it's a thing. Yeah, I know I haven't mentioned everything, but it's getting late and I'm so stuck on what to talk about, so I may make another one of these if I need to in the future. I've also been asked to do ones on anxiety and depression, so I will do them at some point, but it's really scary uploading these videos, and I'm only doing this because it's Suicide Prevention Week and stuff like that. If you're watching this and you are suicidal or have been suicidal or will ever be suicidal or down, you can always talk to me, okay? My DMs are always open. If I'm out, I will reply to you as soon as I see it. Like, I'm always here, I promise, for any of you who ever need anything. I am here. So never feel like you're alone, because you're really, really not. You're all so beautiful and lovely, and you're loved, and people care about you, and I wish that you all could see that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, share it around if you think it will help anyone. Yeah, I'll see you all soon. I hope this wasn't too useless and it made some of you feel less alone or something, I don't know. But I'll see you all soon, and I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful. Bye!